Once upon a time, there was a young boy who lived with his grandmother. They would play in her backyard almost every day, until little John came home from school with a note that said he had to visit his biological parents who never really cared for him. They lived on the other side of the country, so John had to take a plane. It was his first time flying, so he was very nervous. The plane had arrived and John was ready. He told himself he could do it. A few moments after departing, the plane started violently shaking. People were putting on masks and the plane came crashing down. Little John woke up and started looking for help, only to find that he was the only one that had survived. John didn't know what to do. He couldn't reach out to anyone and didn't know where emergency supplies were. Everyone knew John had passed in a plane crash. That's what they were told. His grandma would look at his picture every single day. She knew the little boy was alive. In the meanwhile, John had learned a lot. He knew how to make fire, he made a camp, and learned how to catch fish. He grew up knowing that there was another world out there, but he found peace within the nature he lived. Little John even created his own language so he could communicate with the animals surrounding him. John had been hearing weird, unnatural sounds coming from afar for a little while now. He decided that it was time to go and check out what it was all about. John was shocked. They started building a town in the forest John had lived in for the last few years. John was overwhelmed seeing houses, electricity, and cars again after being gone so long. It was already dark, but that didn't matter for little John. He wanted to speak to his grandmother. So he knocked on the door of the first house he saw. John looked very dirty and scary. So when one of the inhabitants of this new town opened their door, they would tell him to go away. John sat on the sidewalk thinking. He decided to spend the night in a local park he found. Of course, it didn't take long for the police to arrive, and they took him. Little John got so nervous. When the police would ask him questions, the only thing the little boy could say was "qualk," which meant help in the language that he had created. The police thought little John was laughing at them, so they locked him up for the night and started making jokes about John. Until they found out who the boy was. The police took the boy home. Little John was very excited because he knew where he was going. But then little John came home, only to find that his grandma's seat was empty. Grandma had passed 2 days ago. Little John got so upset that he ran off, never to be seen again.